Hello everybody, this is Kurt with the Curry Experience, and I'm back playing more Diablo 3 back-to-back. It took me 2 minutes to get back and start a new recording. I'm sorry, I failed you. But here we go. This is the optimized first iteration of my Crusader build, finally. Like I've been saying before, pretty damn excited about this. So as you can tell, I got the Thunder God's Vigor. It's not the best. Obviously, it's really not the best, but this is the kind of thing that you'd want. You can also go with other belts too. A Witching Hour would also be a very fantastic just because of the damage. I like this because the lightning skill boost. Lightning skills are what I'm using with sweep attack, so I get a pretty good damage boost out of having 31% damage increase for lightning. So the only things left I have to do now is get another helmet of his, so then that vitality will turn. I can turn it to sweep attack damage. And then, last but not least, this Mars Kaleidoscope needs to go. I need to find something better that I can actually get crit chance and crit damage on. If I can get both of those, my damage will get up to probably nearly 1,000,000, because this will go to 332. Then, last but not least, Ramalani's Gift this, or hopefully get a better one, because if I get a sweep attack with 6 Wrath for each enemy hit with a Golden Cleanse, I'd be doing a little bit better in Rifts as well. But this is typically what you're looking at. Finally, I'm using a word. I've seen other people playing this. Instead of using a conventional elements and a word, they use a conventional elements and a unity, and then take along their little buddy Templar. I typically don't like bringing on them. I don't know what it is about me. I know that it seems stupid because it's just free damage mitigation, but I hate them. I absolutely hate using them, so I don't. That's your prerogative. So if you want to do it that way, go ahead and throw on a unity if you have one. Like, I have one that's sitting in here that's, not race, well, yeah, race, quote-unquote, unspecific. Class unspecific is what I was actually looking for. And what I mean by that is, as you can see, I just re-rolled off the main stat and got crit damage on here. So there's crit damage against leads, crit chance, and crit damage, resistance, and a socket. And so you lose damage out because you're losing main stat, which isn't too bad, though. The reason why I'm saying that is because this means you can use this on any friggin' character you want to, that you build. They don't need to worry about the main stat on there, and you're getting the crit chance and damage. Because when you get in the higher Paragon levels, you're typically not going to worry about your main stat, just due to the fact that your Paragon points are going to go in there after you get over getting used to these. I mean, like, I don't even need Maximum Wrath. I could technically dump it all into Strength if I want to do, but I want Maximum Wrath on there just because that allows me to maintain a little bit more. But yeah, I'm using the word, by the way. I figured just because, like, it's really good for one. I've had it for a while. And then two, that freaking secondary, actually, the 32% lightning damage has a 32% chance to stun for 1.5 seconds. That actually really does benefit a lot. So I typically have been using it just because that stun ability on top of using the sweep attack stun. 50% chance to be tripped and stunned for 2 seconds on top of the 1.5. That you can get some stacking with some trash mobs. I've shown you guys this before, but I have Ancient Parthian Defenders. It's not perfect, and I haven't re-rolled the crit chance to 6 yet, but that's okay. As I showed you before, the conventional elements I have is near perfect as well. It's pretty freaking good. I've had it for a while. Then all the other parts I have, like the Roland's pieces I do have, actually are really good for the setup that they have. Like, their secondaries are resistances, their primaries are good. I don't have a lot of stacking on crap resistances. This is one of the ones I need to get replaced as well. But this is like the majority of my first iteration of this build. This is pretty much good up to almost 40. Like I said, its survivability is a little bit piss poor. Oh, last but not least, the reason why its survivability is so piss poor, or because it's so piss poor, I'm using the Multiple Beast Gizzard and an Esoteric Alteration. Typically speaking, when you get a little bit better on your resistance and stuff like that, you want to switch out the Gizzard. If you're doing something similar to me, switch out a Gizzard and put in a Taeguk. That'll give you armor and damage for each primary resource spent. And as you can clearly see, you spend primary resource, I don't know, literally the whole entire time you play this character. And last but not least, if you can see the skills in the bottom, the way that I'm building with this character and the way I'm using the skills, the Laws of Valor, that I'm basically using to be able to hit single targets and maintain Wrath while I'm doing it because it gives a 50% Wrath reduction while it's active. And if you had enough Fury generation and enough cooldown, you'll be able to maintain Laws of Valor. Say like on a single target, like, you know, I don't know, the Greater Rift Guardian. You'll be able to maintain that long enough if you have the right parts. So you would never have to really use a generator at all, which is nice. Next one, I'm using the Steed Charge with Draw and Quartered. That's just like if I have a single target and I don't want to really play with him too much, I can drag him to another set of enemies so I can get my sweep attack to stack better with the denial I'm using. Third one is the Iron Skin, as you can see at the bottom. That one I have on with the Lightning Rune, which basically just means anytime I get hit, I get a damage boost. Or not damage, a speed boost. Then Accurate, which I forgot what I put on here, Profit. So that just gives you, as you can see, the 150% additional armor when you're using it. That's just for survivability and higher levels. I do use it. Then Sweep Attack I'm using with the Lightning one. I showed you guys with the Trip Attack, 50% chance to stun for 2 seconds. And then last but not least, I'm using the Condemn with Vacuum. Reason being, if you have a lot of characters or enemies, typically, as you can see, kind of like these ones, the ones that like to run away, you use that. They can't really run away from you when you're near them. And the best part about it is if you're running down a hallway and you click that, you can kind of drag enemies with you. Like, I'll show you. Like this. As you can see, they kind of stack up on you. I forgot to do the other thing, too. You want to use your Iron Skin as well first before you do that, otherwise you won't be able to move through them freely. But yeah, so you do this, you get hit, and then you can do that. And as you can see, you can kind of drag them into a pile, and then you can get them all in a nice, juicy meat grinder with your Flens here. That's typically the way you'd want to do it. That's the way I'd want to do it. But as you can see, though, like I was saying, the survivability of my character is nicht so good. So that's the reason why I'm kind of not using him for greater 40s and stuff yet, because he dies way too easily. I think the best I've done with him is a 37 or 38, which is fantastic for before I even had Thunderguard's Vigor or all the other stuff optimized like I do now. But it took like the perfect set of circumstances. The other thing you want to know too is that whenever you get a channeling pylon with this character, just make sure that you spam Acrats, spam your horse, and spam all of your abilities as much as you can. And as you can tell, the one negative with using the horse as it is that if anything's kind of even barely around a corner, or like there's a one polygon that sticks out a little bit farther, like right here, they'll get stuck on it and they won't drag you with them. So just be mindful of that if you're trying to take like an elite pack on a ride, that they can get stuck on walls and whatnot. So it would be more beneficial to try to maintain an open environment like this to pull them away. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, the Condemn, though, like I was saying, it does really help with enemies that like to typically run away. Although, sadly enough, not on Treasure Goblins, so I don't think it'll work for that. But large groups of enemies that try to maintain distance from you, any of these ranged ones will do. I typically use that against them, just so that they can't keep friggin' backing away from you. It doesn't work against Rift Guardians, though, which is kind of shitty. But it's understandable. They can kind of typically back up, which does ruin your rhythm with the Golden Flens and Sweep Attack. I'll show you what I mean when I get to the Greater Rift boss, because I have a feeling it's going to be the either the Poison one or the Lightning one or the Fire one. So Ryan Zeal, Ember, or whatever. By the way, I can't remember. It starts on the R, so I just made up Rhinezale. I don't even know if that's what his real name is. Ooh. Yeah. I mean, typically I'm happy for a power pylon, but like right now I'm just enough away from the time that it's not really a big deal. To keep it, like it would be too much of a trek to go back and get it and then try to race to the friggin' boss. And there's not enough enemies that I could clearly tell near me that it would have been beneficial to grab. So it's just one of those stalemate kind of pickups you get where you're just like, yay, I got something that I won't be using really at all. It behooves you to actually use pylons when you're in higher grid rifts, like 40 and higher. And you don't have like stupidly fantastic builds, you know, that are doing the top 1,000 on the leaderboards, which is pretty much a grid rift 50 or higher. You got to make sure that you're smart with those pylons, because a single power pylon can make a Greater Rift Guardian your bitch as compared to him making you his bitch. And typically speaking, too, honestly, if you're doing a Greater Rift that you think you can maintain, but it's a really high level, even something as simplistic as a shield pylon would be a really good thing to have at the very end for the Guardian. Just because then you can at least have a good amount of time that will allow you to not get murdered. As you can see, though, like I said, you have to try to maintain having Laws of Valor up. And this Jackass will knock me back and jump a lot. And as you can see, I just don't quite have enough cooldown or something. So I lose out on my Wrath more than I can maintain the Laws of Valor up. So you see me kind of flounder here now when I'm down this low of Wrath. Where now I'm not actually using Sweep Attack, I'm just punching him. Which means that he doesn't get the knockout. And what sucks about Bloodmaw, like I'm saying, is this fucking stupid jumping. He can jump forever, and then now when he's this low of health, he'll maintain this ridiculous amount of attack speed that'll make it nearly impossible for you to survive if you don't have enough healing. Oh, there's an Angel Hairbraid. That actually could be used for another build I want to try. Potion I already have picked up many of, a really shitty thing. And then a fucking... wait, what's this ring? Oh, that's a Stone of Jordan. Typically speaking, Stone of Jordans have been outclassed now by the Convention of the Elements, and the reason why is because the Convention of the Elements, it's not a randomized cycle it goes through. If you've been watching down here, this goes through fire, then it goes through the holy, then it goes through the lightning damage, and then last but not least, physical damage. And then it goes right back to fire again, as you can see. Yeah, I might keep that just to see if I can try a different thing out with Punish. Oops. I saw a really cool idea for a build with Punish as a main primary source. That sucks. That's actually really good. You're going in my box. And the rest of you is going in the trash can. Okay, so typically speaking, 34, this he could do just fine. But I'm going to go ahead and swap out for my monk, just because I don't want this to take forever. And like I said, I don't like having that wrath degeneration happen whenever I play. It's really ridiculous to have to sit there and just hold left click down and hope to God that you get enough friggin' wrath regen. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to Mortem. As you can see, I have his Flying Dragon on instead of his Ingam and the Azurath. And you'll see why in a minute. I said this in another video. I don't know if I iterated why I wanted it, but I finally got a frickin' Ramalani's gift. So now, this Flying Dragon has a socket. I haven't found another Flying Dragon my whole entire playthrough. No, actually, I found one, and I gave it to Nick a while back when he was building his monk. But yeah, what makes that friggin' Flying Dragon so good is that it's a lot better damage than the Ingam and the Azareth. Ingam is typically nicer because then you get that cooldown bonus. But so I swapped to this because I finally got that. And if you're wondering why I didn't get 10% damage, it's because it was costing me almost 10 million to reroll. I could not get 10 for the life of me, so I gave up. I just 9's good enough. The other big change you see is that I switched to a String of Ears, which reduces damage from melee attacks by 29%. The reason why is because I still have 53.86% cooldown reduction, and I'm not really missing the spirit cost reduction at all. So I just kind of left it as is. Last but not least, I did reroll cold skills to fire skills to try a fire build with this character. So I kind of made a mistake. I was rerolling a cold, and I couldn't get up to 20 again, and it cost millions to reroll that too. Kind of blows. That was my mistake. But yeah, this is my new character now. As you can see, it's still lopsided with crit chance to crit damage. So I could probably reroll one of these two. I could either reroll this crit chance to crit damage, or I could reroll this cooldown to crit chance. The problem is that these focus and restraints, they have dexterity as a prime stat. You'd probably do better just to get rid of dexterity and put on crit chance and damage, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm still doing fantastic. I just want to level out that crit chance and damage a little bit better. Yeah. If they were closer to like a 400-400 split, I'd probably be doing better. But I just want to show you guys, you know, that with the Flying Dragon, even though when you're testing it out solo, you know, just kind of stand there trying it out, it doesn't seem like the Flying Dragon really procs enough to make it viable. When you're actually playing, it does. Like when you're not paying attention to it and you're just kind of playing the game normally like this, it actually does proc a lot more than you think, which is great. I mean, it's procced right there for just a brief minute. But the other good news too is that because I have him built up like this, now I can finally get a little bit higher up in the greater rifts as soon as I can maintain his survivability. I said it before and I'll say it again though. I'm still at a loss at how some people maintain survivability up at greater rift 50s or higher, you know? Because this build right now, as it stands, I could do with a little bit more damage, like I'm saying, but it already does. I can already survive, or not survive, do enough damage to get up to the 50 range. Like this, the damage base on this character could do 50. It'd be slow, but he'd be able to do it, I'm sure. Because I can get a greater rift keystone of 38 and get it to 45. Which is the amount of speed that it takes. As long as the density is good, like this level right now, the density is just absolute shite. So like it's just, I'm not getting any friggin' time out of it because there's just such little stuff standing in my way. But yeah, like I said before with this monk, and I'll say it again, if you're doing a monk build yourself and you're doing something similar to this, just ensure that when you're playing him, just hold down the left mouse button. Try not to be like I am, where you kind of forget and you start spamming click, because holding it down actually does more for you. You move better that way, and it's better that way. If you're clicking, you do less. You don't move as much. You're kind of gimping yourself in terms of spirit regen. But yeah, I only just recently switched over to a Taiguk with him as well. Just because I want to make sure that I'm using the gems that I want, and I'm trying to level that up better. As you can see, though, this Taiguk's ranked 28 now. It's only because I recently made it. Like, it only just recently got to 25, so 28 right now is not too bad. Eventually, I'll just go and do some greater 40s or something and get it up to rank 40. It seems like on top of having a greater paragon level, having the highest paragon levels that you can get like 800, 900, 1,000 stuff, it also is really beneficial, and it's almost required To get to a Greater Rift 50 or higher, you pretty much need gems over 50, level 50. Now this is where this really is ridiculous, is when you have a channeling pylon with this build still. Like, I'm a meat grinder at this point now. I don't know if you can hear that, but my stomach is growling like crazy. It just growled for like a minute straight right there. It's actually cathartic whenever, I don't know about you guys, but whenever I have like a lot of hunger, like I feel like almost hunger pains from how hungry because you haven't eaten yet or something. It's almost cathartic when your stomach growls because then I don't know, it kind of makes you feel better for a little bit there. I don't know. Because I'm hungry, and then it started growling, and then all of a sudden that kind of feeling of hunger goes away, and you're like, oh, I don't know. That sounds probably kind of morbid to anybody that just sounds morbid. I'll just leave it at that. Now, this is why my monk is still my favorite Greater Rift clear, is because freaking maintaining his health, maintaining his spirit regeneration and all that has nothing to do with if I get lucky or get really good items or not. It just has to do with if I can use my Epiphany, if I can use my Inner Sanctuary, and if I can hold down left click and spam 3 occasionally. Oh, set ring, that could be good. Aquila Curse. And that's a restraint, I think. Yep, that's a restraint. Well, focus. It's actually focus, I think. Oh, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut the hell up, shut up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try to do a 41. Although last time I did a 41 with this character, I got really shitty monsters, and I got my ass handed to me, and I don't think I've actually finished it, which sucks. But we'll see. Please be good. So the recording luck is not with me today. That's unsavable. Like, friggin' damage and stuff on there. Like, it had a socket, which is nice, but terrible. Okay, so we're ready to go. Here's a 41. I'll just show you real quick too. The game pauses since I'm in solo mode, but as you can see, whoops, I have to go to leaderboards to show you. 41 is my best at 725. Exact 725. So that was actually with this kind of enemy base. So this is actually kind of nice already. But that was also with my Ingam equipped, so nah, that's what I thought. I knew that it wouldn't last. Punishers are some of the banes of my existence in this game, just due to the fact that their leap attacks reach a ridiculously far margin. And if they're directly south of you, as you can see, you have a whole bar below you that covers the majority of your screen. So you can't see them jumping off camera on you, or off screen on you. So they'll jump from way off screen and murder your face. Ouch. I ran into that. That was my mistake. I still want to get a good Hellfire amulet, but I've already made 7 or 8 of them, I think, for this character alone, and they've all sucked. All of them. Every single one of them has blown, like, huge donkey butthole. So I do want one, though, just because I want to have the passive that I can use, like just an extra passive. Because I think he would greatly benefit from something that I don't have on already, like, you know, the one that allows me to die once. That'd be really nice. Or one of the ones that I use already. Or something as simple as having Alacrity on there, which I'm using right now, and then being able to put on Seize the Initiative or something as a good bonus. So I will be trying to do that at one point, too, off camera. Go and get enough keys to try. Actually, I might save that for a video. I might save finding the keys to show you guys in a video how freaking easy T6 soloing T6 the Uber bosses for the parts are. It's literally the shortest part of it. The hardest part is getting the keys. So typically speaking, if you really want to make your life easier and getting Hellfire amulets, find a group of people on like the chat and ask them to go with you to get keys, because that means it was a 4-player party. All 4 of you will only need to get 1 key each from each act, and that'll already give you 4 Infernal Machines, and you'll each get the drop right away. If you do it the way that I'm doing it, which is do it solo, you have to do it 4 times in a row to get each key. It is time-consuming and tedious, so like typically speaking, if you have like an off day and you just want to like relax and just kind of kill some shit, do it that way. Just turn on some music, go cross-eyed, and then just run and reload, run, kill, reload, run, kill, reload over and over again. But yeah, I might, it just depends on how I'm feeling, because it would be a relatively short video. Hell, I might even do it after this. I might just show you like my method for collecting keys, and then my method for, in another video after that, my, oopsie, sorry. My method for actually killing the Uber bosses solo. It's laughable how easy they are in T6 when you have a build like this. Ooh, what's that? Oh, shield pylon. That'll make this stupidly easy now. Now I don't have to worry about anything. See, to me, with enemies that run away, though, that's where the Crusader shines, because you don't have to chase them down with a Crusader. You just use vacuum, and then they get pulled into your aura, and then you just stand there and melee them. And as soon as they try to run away again, you use your drawn quarter to drag them around the map a little bit, and then start meleeing again. And then they keep getting knocked out where they can't run. With this character, sadly enough, the mob control, the crowd control of being able to hold them in one position is piss poor for my monk by comparison, but he's just so maneuverable it doesn't really matter. I can follow him around the map, but still, it's so much more annoying when they move around when you could just hold them in place as some of the other characters I have. Okay, I don't have enough time to waste doing that, so I'm going to go ahead and just waste that. Oh my god, I can't believe I got killed by an explosion. You typically want to use pylons like that. I mean, look, my time isn't good enough to waste or fathom keeping it, so. And that's where my weapon procced, as you can see. Help me clear a large portion of enemies. Oh, I didn't know there was an elite pack over here, otherwise I would come use it on you. I have no idea where his elite pack group is. They're there. This is really shitty that I'm getting the friggin' Bone Warlocks and Return Summoners or whatever they call them on this. Oh my god, 3 elite packs in one room. Well, that'll go ahead and spawn them right away, but I might die a couple times fighting this many in one room. I don't have the survivability to survive that many in a row. So let's try to bait him over this way a little. Get rid of the minions a little bit. Typically speaking, it's not a pussy move to run away from enemies in this game. It's not a pussy move to run away from elite packs. And it's not a pussy move to bait kite and bait either. Because trying to stand and tank it all, it's not like the days of old where, you know, you had like a specific build in mind where like, you know, oh, well, I'm condemned to being a friggin' tank and I'm not going to do damage. It's not like that anymore in this term. So what I'm just looking for here is a saving grace in hopes that maybe I can... There we go. Oh, I didn't get the friggin' spawn yet. There we go. There we go. I was hoping for that because I didn't want to fight the other 2 elite packs still. They had a lot worse abilities. But getting Sacrist is pretty shitty because he does a shitload of damage to this character for some reason. I don't know why. I think what I need to do for my monk is re-roll some stuff around and maybe hopefully get a really good new Panzer or anything like that so I can re-roll a chance to stun on hit or something as a secondary. Because it's just, I get hit way too much on this character. As you can see though, like I think I showed a greater F 41 clear, or at least a 40 clear before when I was using Ingam and Azarath. Using the Flying Dragon is actually better. Oh jeez, his tornado killed me and I was trying to heal and I didn't realize I was still on cooldown with it. As you can see, it's actually better. Like I do a lot more damage, just my survivability is shit. And this is the one thing I don't like about Rift Guardians at all, is I don't like the fact that he can spam all of his abilities while you're in death mode. So then they're all ready to kill you as soon as you come out. Like, I mean, his little shit things don't do really any that much damage, but if you're caught off guard and you get a massive amount of them to hit you at once, it will kill you. And a higher Greater Rift, it will kill you one shot. But the worst one, I think, is his stupid freaking... Sometimes the tornadoes, because they say that they're random, I don't believe it. Sometimes they feel like they fucking follow you, and sometimes they'll just stand over your corpse and wait for you to spawn. It's annoying. Shit. That's shit. That's shit. That could be okay, but I'm not using it, so whatever. Well, there you go. A grade of 41 clear, not to a 45, please. I could do that Tygook, or I could waste a 41 on that one, so I'm gonna waste it on this one. And let's see what else I have. I think I have, yeah, this Gogok is at rank 40, and it's a 60% chance. You want to get it to 45 or 50, whatever it is to get, or 50, because 50 is the max on it. So I think, just because I kind of have to grind that one up, I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Because I desperately want to get that Gogok up to 50 to make it so I have a 100% chance to get those stacks. A 90 or 1 or whatever it's going to be at now is still fucking good, and I barely ever tell when it's not doing it, but, you know, I'm greedy. Yay. Yay. 34 yards away. Nope. Yay. Dex, armor, crit chance, lightning resists. What's the one I have? Oh, I have 2 of them. Oh, yeah, I got an ancient one with exploding palm damage. And I would reroll life to something else. So, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. It's not good. But that'll do it for this episode, guys. I definitely want to start it by showing you the Crusader, but I wanted to end with that just because I didn't want to make my Crusader trudge through a 34 or 35 when he'd probably get killed. Oh, I probably should have done these. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and swap over to my Barbarian real quick. Waste all these blood shards, get upset at each other, and then end the episode there. That sounds good to me. Boop, boop, boop-a-dee, boop-a-doop, boop, boop, boop-a-doop. Alrighty. So as you can see, 908 blood shards, 910 is the max for me right now. I need boots and shoulders, or boots, pants. Well, that's a good start.
Do come back again. What a steal. What a steal.
Wow. I'm gonna get fucked here. I can tell right now. This has been happening for days straight. Like 2 or 3 days straight. I'll show you now. I've gotten this 4 times, this 6 times from her already. This twice, and then all these other ones I don't pay attention to because I don't fucking care. But I've gotten the freaking every other set pair of pants from her, except for the ones I need, many, many times over. She is just not nice to me today. Not at all. As you can see. So that's another 900 blood shards down the drain that I got nothing to show for. So I'll probably not play for a little while longer today. I'll probably just take a break. Upset and disappointment, but them's the breaks. That's how this game works. The Diablo Lord taketh and the Diablo Lord taketh away. Or giveth and taketh away, is what I should say, but fuck it. I don't care. I'm tired. Thanks, guys, for watching. That'll do it for now. In the next one, hopefully, maybe I'll have all the Raycor, or not Raycor, all of the waste stuff put together for this character. It may not be the best, but at least I can finally show you my proof of concept of this character. We'll see. I'm hoping, Cross your fingers for me. I'm hoping to. But thanks again, guys, and I will see you in the next one.